All righty, let's try that again. Oh, I don't know why it does this, and YouTube's never responded to anything. Never responded to anything. Oh yay, good, good. Let's make sure I don't have to do anything over here. Maybe we'll look and see what that is. Few spots left. If you want reservations for the Pride Parade, help carry the AIDS ribbon. No, I'm gonna walk with the African students, the African LGBT students. Well, I guess I don't know. Um, that's for the Pride Parade. Help carry the AIDS ribbon. Um, I was invited tonight to walk with. I think it's African students who are talking about the intersectionality of like Palestine's everybody's problem. So I guess Palestine is a queer problem or something like that. Is the group I'm going to walk with, and then I guess there's a pool party that Dr. Shaw is holding that I'm going to go to instead of the Pride Festival because that's tickets and they won't let me put Gorilla Band and fuck that. I don't like to. I guess she's safe. That's a Native American that's a close friend of a real cool native that I know. This other guy, I don't think so. I don't even know. I got more. I have just 5 mutual friends, and I don't know any of these people very well. I was like, how did these guys even make the cut? I don't recognize any of those names. I just cut about 50 people when I found out that I had a security breach in there. Somebody was able to see my shit. That shouldn't. So anyway, I'm gonna read a few things that I wrote. I'm gonna wait for a few people to show up before I get into the really good one. Question was asked by the Medical Cannabis Education and Reviews school page. We'll give you the link. Hello. That's weird. Okay, that's the one we want to read. And that's the most recent. Okay, let's close everything else down. Boom. We might want to read this one for later too. Stonewall founder opposes trans rights, may form a breakaway group. Guys joined the TERFs and the right wingers. Which is not surprising because the gay men are notorious for being very willing bottoms to the powers that be. Yes, here, fuck me in the ass and keep me happy and give me a lot of money. And I'll stab anybody else in the back for you, and I don't give a shit. It's Milo. Oh, sorry, I couldn't read. I should have taken this. If I had known, I would have filmed this. I would have filmed this last YouGov survey that I did. It was asking about our satisfaction with the president's performance. I wrote. It was mostly multiple choice questions. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll go there first. Oh, here it is. It's next. Actually, let's start with this one. No, let's save that for later too. Let's start with the cannabis. What does cannabis help you with? So my answer to them was I would have never lived 65 years without killing anybody or blowing anything up without weed. I fought for over 40 years with the psychiatric establishment for my right to self-medicate with cannabis as a mood stabilizer and antipsychotic they wanted me to take. I still don't have a card, but that's okay. This is Tucson. Cops don't care, and I can get better weed cheaper on the street than at any dispensary. Then the survey that I really wish I'd filmed this now because it's a really funny survey. Um, it's like, of course, I'm like extremely dissatisfied with. I just did a survey at YouGov that was asking how I felt about Trump's performance. Well, the meme I put, Trump hates the First Amendment, loves the Second Amendment, and has no idea what the Third Amendment is. So I did this survey, and there was one essay question that asked what Trump has done recently that I approve of. So my answer was, you must be joking. I'm a Jewish anti-Zionist and transgender hippie. What has he done lately that you think I should approve of? But okay, I admit to it. I had to look it up, and to be honest, there are only a few that I can cite easily without looking them up, but I'm not the POTUS, or should that be bloatus? No soldier, the third, says, no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. And then about an hour ago, there were three shotgun blasts in the alley behind the other building and AutoZone. I didn't hear any sirens, so I guess it was okay. Then there's a little affirmation that says, nothing in nature lives for itself. Rivers don't drink their own water. Trees don't eat their own fruit. Sun doesn't shine for itself. A flower's fragrance is not for itself. Living for each other is the rule of nature. Okay, so here, let's read. This was there. I don't know which to read first. Probably, we'll read this first. This is one of my hippie historian pieces with an actual title, which is the title of this stream. Being visible shouldn't make you a target. It was there was a meme of two guys holding hands walking down the street that says, being visible should never leave you feeling vulnerable. So this is what I went off on. And no queer should feel unsafe anywhere just because they're queer. There's a very exciting coalition that just formed called Transform Arizona to address the issue of safe spaces, being spearheaded by the people who got the no promo homo law overturned and been leading the fight for implementation of an LGBTQ inclusive family life curriculum in the TUSD. There was an attack by two men on a gay woman here yesterday. It didn't quite turn out as they planned because she was packing brass knuckles. She still got hurt, but nowhere near as badly as it could have been if she hadn't been prepared to defend herself. I'm surprised that this happens in Tucson at all. But there was a young transgender woman attacked in June, and now this. I have a friend in the San Fernando Valley who's afraid to go past her front stoop alone because of the aggression from her neighbors. One of my nieces in Brooklyn is regularly getting into shit over being a trans feminine person and has to present gender neutral to avoid that. People who are not cisgender and heterosexual should not have to fear for their safety in public just because they're queer. I've never liked to be living in dread of anything, but I've taken to holding my flute in my hand all the time and packing a can of pepper spray in my purse just in case. I'm looking for a workout partner at the Downtown Y if anybody wants to get in shape and learn some hand-to-hand and improvised weapon techniques. Oh, this is the one I haven't. Fuck. I edited this, and this doesn't have the edited one. Let me find the edited one. Shit. Because at first I wrote it without naming the people because I didn't know if they were ready to be out or not. That's better. This one's edited. Where was I? Oh, I didn't edit it completely. properly. I need to edit it a little more. Essentially, this started when some moms of trans kids said enough and decided to declare that the validity of the sexuality and gender expression of our children is not up for debate. To do so would be to discriminate against our own children, and walked out of a TUSD hearing on August 22nd, along with more than half the people in attendance. This is unprecedented in the history of Western civilization. Never in post-Columbian times have the parents of queer children stood behind their children and linked to each other the way this has been steadily growing since the Coin Mathis ruling in 2013. What we are witnessing is the first generation of happy gender variant children people in history, in recent history. Stop giving Caitlyn Jenner credit for something she had nothing to do with. If anything, she jumped on a cresting wave. The transgender phenomenon started with the doctors advising the parents to allow their children to wear their hair whatever length they chose, wear the clothes they liked, and play with whatever they liked, starting in the mid-90s. Start the timeline on that with Kim Petras' birthday on August 7th, 1992. Her transition has been very well documented. As the incredible results started to show in clinical studies, documentaries, and transition diaries were appearing on the social media networks, thousands of gender variant people got the courage to come out, both from many years of living in stealth and living in the closet. I was one of those people who have been living authentically since April 1st, 2014. What happened here is that one of the mothers of a gender variant child, Carol Broshing, educates educators at the University of Arizona. They mess with the wrong mama bear. Not only does she teach teachers, but she's a very hip Latina in cahoots with another very hip Latina mom of a trans youth, Lizette Trujillo. And they've got 187 other trans parents in this town connected to them through the Southern Arizona Gender Alliance. Enter Steve, the local human rights campaign organizer. And, well, I hope you're, yes, I know. Ronald Lickstrom, front and center, man, you're looking at the wrong video. Steve and JP Martin, Organizing for Equality Arizona, add in a whole mess of gender variant adults with their shit together, a few more educators, and some clergy, and transform Arizona as a force to be reckoned with that will stand solidly against the extremist Christian lobbying groups fighting against comprehensive sex education and equality for same-sex attracted and gender variant people being written into law. There is absolutely no rational reason to demand that every person born with a penis express in a masculine manner, or that every person with a vagina express in a feminine manner, or that they only pair bond with people of the opposite sex. Many people are physically and psychologically better suited for the transgender role, and same-sex pair bonding is part of the natural order of things as well. Over 1,500 species are known to do it. I can't tell you how difficult it was to pretend to be a cishet male for so many years, and it will be over my dead body that trans children will ever again be denied the happy childhoods that my trans boomer and Generation X siblings and myself, I bet I'm more, that's another thing I need to edit. That's why you read this shit out loud. You find the mistakes. I can't tell you how difficult it was to pretend to be a cishet male for so many years. And it will be over my dead body that trans children will ever again be denied the happy childhoods that trans boomer and Gen X siblings and myself never had. Oh. I guess that should sit like it is. It's fall pollen season. I'm already starting to have some problems. Lizette was complaining about being all swollen and stuffed up. So let's see who's here and saying anything. Nobody. Hi, MS. Happy day. Let's see if this other guy's listening to the wrong one. Get him the link to this. Okay, so back to this. As I said, there was a gay bashing, and the Tucson Pride put out a note a little while ago. Dear community, we've been asked by community members to share this information. This only reaffirms why we must stand united and look out for one another. This incident occurred in Tucson. If you've seen the vehicle in this description, please contact police. Please do not attempt to engage. Violence is not the answer to violence. TPD non-emergency is 520-791-4444, and they're only going to answer it during business hours on weekdays. So you're stuck with 911. Help needed. One of our amazing former Derby brats was gay bashed yesterday. She handled it so well, got help, and reported to the police, but these middle-aged people who attacked an 18-year-old kid need to be caught. Please be alert for a 2006 Chrysler sedan, gray over white, license ALE 5087. Two white males, both bigger than her, and she was not a very big girl. One had a big build, the other was tall and skinny, and they were both in their 40s, gray hair starting to bald. Ducky. California becomes the first state to ban discrimination against natural hair. I don't know if the Native Americans were in on this. This all seems like African Americans gathered around the white governor. Let's read this. I saw it on one of my Native friends' walls. Yeah, it's banning black students. A 10-year legal battle. This is something come out of it. That just come out of a 10-year legal battle. This is an interesting reaction to it. One of his friends said, I put a sad face because I cannot, for the life of me, as an indigenous person, understand these white people's BS that we need actual laws for people to have their own hair. Our men and boys have been forced to cut their beautiful long hair for 2 centuries now. What kind of nation is this when people's hairstyle, color, length is so much of a thing that we actually need laws to protect people of color? And my response to that was, please, not so long ago, there were laws against cross-dressing. It's not well known, but that's what led to both the Compton's cafeteria riot in 1966 and the Stonewall riots in 1969. That's the gay people, the trans people were the ones that were causing the cops to show up in the first place. So they in San Francisco, Compton, they wouldn't let them in the gay bars at all because the cops would come with them. So they were stuck with Comptons, and shit got weird there. And the Comptons people had to call the cops a bunch of times. And one time they just went off on them. There was one before that in Los Angeles that similar that was not well documented. That I think Susan Stryker dug out. Susan Stryker definitely did the digging on the Comptons riot to get the skinny on that. And the same thing at Stonewall is that the cross dressers, the trans people were the ones that the cops were coming to raid, and they just started throwing shot glasses one night. And, you know, if the armed and inbred mighty white fake Christians have their way, that same sex and interracial marriage will be outlawed again. That's what they want. But still, I believe the majority of Americans are opposed to new discriminatory law of any kind, especially ones aimed at queers. But the haters are well organized and have a lot of money, so the battle is lopsided in their favor anyway. Anybody here saying anything? Hello, Ronald. No. Autogynephilia is pseudoscience. It's discredited, totally discredited garbage. Yeah, the audio, I don't know why it does. I have no idea why it does that. It just comes out chipmunk sometimes. Oops, whatever that is, that doesn't work. That's way too big. You can't put much in the, you know, the comment boxes are only 200 characters, and some of these URLs are like 500-600 characters long. Oh, it's getting grubby. So what's next. I've been doing a fair bit of writing. It's interesting, the story of Pocahontas, the true story of Pocahontas. Pocahontas' real name was Matoak. And if we believe John Smith's account of events, she would have been 10, 11, or 12 years old at the oldest when Pocahontas met him. That's hardly a romantic scenario unless you're a pedophile. Now, we know John Smith might have met her once, but he was never with her. Pocahontas was kidnapped by the English, and she was imprisoned at the Jamestown colony for over a year, where she was often sexually assaulted. While still a teenager, our young prisoner married John Rolfe. Marrying an Englishman was a condition of her release. Pocahontas was then taken to England as a sort of living specimen they used as advertisement for colonization. By parading her around in European clothing, they were saying, see, these people aren't so bad to live around. They can be civilized. They just needed some decent clothes. Pocahontas died at the young age of 21, completely unaware of the myth of the Indian girl who rescued a white man from her heathen tribe. Now, thanks to Disney, these lies about her life that had almost been forgotten until they came out with this movie that was completely full of lies. To make matters worse, now we have morons running around calling people Pocahontas as an insult. So it's the usual shit here. This is my brain for today. I'm for those that aren't aware, I'm banned again on my public account at FaceCrook. There's a porn star getting into it. Dr. Z, Natalia Zikarova or something like that. She's the gender counselor. This whole I think it was her. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Debbie Jackson's wall. And it was her public page, so Debbie wasn't right there, paying attention. And here's this porn star going off about with anecdotal evidence about Elizabeth Warren being all buddy with Franklin Graham, and people are challenging her politely on that. And because there's no evidence that she's ever had anything to do with Graham, and she's like getting all nasty. Now I tried to appeal to reason with her, which was really a mistake, and she got nasty with me, and I got blocked. I called her a sleazoid and said that I felt that she was a toxic person in need of ostracism from the organizer and advocate community. Oh, here's an interesting. Here's one worth reading. Sharon Nichols. Sharon's one of the pioneers. She transitioned in the 70s. I think this is Sharon's. No, it isn't. It's Lauren Shamoy, who's also, long time ago transitioner. Caitlyn Jenner, here's the story. Caitlyn Jenner donates thousands of dollars to LGBT charities supporting trans people. I wonder if she, which ones does she say? Transgender resource and $20,000 grant to Phoenix HIV/AIDS program, transgender resource and navigation service. Oh gosh, she's hideous. Sorry. I'm bad enough without any surgery. God. I actually gave it a bunch of, it's bunch of Phoenix area stuff. Maybe we can get her come kick down something to Tucson. Okay, I got too many tabs open. Come on. I hate it when it does that. All right. um, but anyway, let's close tabs. Let's just close these tabs. Okay, that one we don't need. That one we read. That's the one we were reading. And there's the story. Okay, so what else is here? We already did that. I don't even want to talk about that one much. Video shows queer teen being beaten by anti-gay mob after city's first Pride March, and this was in Kharkiv, in the Ukraine, Kharkiv. And boy, they would have beat that kid to death if it wasn't for a film crew and the photographer. You know, the reporter and his crew waited in there and got the kid out of there. Just ran interference for him, let him go to escape. Cops are no fucking nowhere. And it's a church. I don't even want to think about. I don't want to talk about that. Not right now. 48 of the funniest Donald Trump jokes and one-liners. How about we go there? 48 of the funniest Donald Trump jokes. I mean, he is fucking comedy gold. He really is. Okay, here's somebody's jokes. After being advised to put trade tariffs on China and aluminium, this must be a British guy. Donald Trump said he'd heard of China, but which continent was aluminium on? Aluminium. After endless negotiations with North and South Korea, Trump remarked that East and West Korea must be much more peaceful as he never hears from them. That isn't even that funny. After the Roosevelt room and the Lincoln bedroom, Donald Trump says his favorite room in the White House is the Oval Office. He thinks that President Oval was a really great president. That's not even funny either. Donald Trump is doing all he can to raise the living standards of ordinary Americans, particularly ex-porn stars. Come on, there's better shit comes out of his mouth. Yeah, right. This stuff is garbage. This is garbage. Sorry. Nah. I'm underwhelmed with that one. Let's see if we got a better one. Little Eleanor Roosevelt for you. A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water. Then we got some Bernie Sanders stuff here. Bernie Sanders is, by American standards, a terrible politician. He refuses bribes, is honest, and actually wants to help people. He still votes. He's got a piece of the F-35 for the Vermont Air Guard. So anyway, back to Caitlyn. Oh no, we were gonna save that for later. Well, here's Caitlyn. Put that down. This is the one where she went off on. It wasn't Lauren that did it. It was Sharon that went off on her. I guess it wasn't. Wow, here's someone saying, consider Jenner came out a long while back. 4 years is considered a long while now. Long while was the 60 years I had to pretend to be a guy. That was a long while. 4 years. Shit, I've only been living on. I'm just a baby. I'm just 6 years old. Not even 6 years old yet. I don't even want to get into this shit. Because oh, here she is. It is. It is. Here it is. Here it is. Here's Sharon's. Sharon just totally roasted her. Just totally just totally toasted her. Like I said, Sharon Nichols is old school, real old school. She's down in Bisbee, kind of semi-retired. She's old school activist. So here's her take. I still don't trust her. I take this personally in many ways. I was fighting my way through transition during the 1970s while Ben Bruce was running track and field at the 1976 Olympic Games and cashing in on multi-billion-dollar endorsements for Wheaties and sneakers and whatever. I was fighting for my life and career, getting fired from work for being transsexual, while Ben Bruce was living easy, oblivious to the reality of the trans community during the 1980s. Remember, Jenner dabbled in a test transition and chickened out because of what lied ahead. Still, Ben Bruce preferred male privilege in the celebrity lifestyle. So maybe I'm not quite generous because I come from a different time of transition than most of you. After all, according to multiple sources, there were less than 3,000 trans people in the USA by the end of the 1970s, as reported among the medical community. How many of us were in hiding, though? I saw Jenner's coming out TV show, same as millions of others. I saw nothing but male privilege reeking from her. Our nation and our trans community is suffering for her behavior. We'll continue to suffer for many years to come. Our trans community waved warning flags, first while she was him, and after she presented as her. She played her male privilege to the hilt. She dismissed every warning. Jenner was still supporting Trump into his first year, still telling her audience that Trump was just starting to get to be the pro-trans president. To me, she can't buy her way back into good graces. That's too easy for someone with a wad to blow. Jenner needs to put her actions on the line. Take a very clear public stand against Trump, apologize for misbehavior, take up the cause now as the 2020 campaign begins. Then she can use her Bruce windfall to fund transition programs for low-income trans persons. Not just a few $1,000s here or there. No, put up your wad. Help the trans community who are homeless and living in the streets. And my response to her was, I saved myself all those words by saying that she's on the opposite end of the socioeconomic spectrum from me. I was still in school supported by my family until 1978. But by 1982, my career had tanked. I was in the streets and I never really could settle into a stable situation, shave off the beard and be myself until 2014. It's not just her. There are numerous people living very fat off their transness, while there might be a grand total of 25 shelter beds dedicated to trans people nationwide. They need to pay it forward and start building some infrastructure for the community. That's much more important than funding surgeries for indigent trans people. I doubt the majority even want surgery today, and the ones who do are not going to be able to get it if they're not in a stable housing situation. And that, my friends, is like the reality of it. I read that in the other piece. It's like Caitlyn Jenner can be credited with getting the media spotlight turned on to the transgender community. That we can give her credit for, and that we need to thank her for, because it gave a lot of the rest of us access that we never had before. It's, I'm just like amazed at the growth in the community I've witnessed since I found it in 1999 on Lynn Conway's homepage. And what I'm seeing today, it's like incontrovertible, the reality of the success of just letting transgender people be themselves from as early an age as possible. And we thrive. All of the bad behavioral health crap just goes back down right into like normal parameters for every other demographic. Buck Angel. I don't know that much about him. uh, Buck Angel, you ask. How are you tonight, Lorelai? Um, he's got too many tattoos and piercings for me, but boy, otherwise. That's why I've been saying, "Where's my Buck Angel?" since for years now. I'm batting 0 for 4. None of them have been healthy enough. There was one skinny thing. I was afraid I'd break him if I got him in bed. And hey, whoever this Paulson Pal is, come on this channel and let me block your ass. Fuck you. It's not my microphone that's the problem. Something's wrong in the connection, and that happens. And I had a 2-day break from weed, and I'm no no, fuck off. Go have a beer. Buck Angel, trans guys. I don't know that much about Buck Angel. Let me look up some because I can't speak to his politics and shit, but he's active. He's very active. Here's his home site. Hell yeah, I you know, just if he didn't have all them fucking tattoos and shit, I'm just not into it. Because of my spirituality, my connection to ancient bullshit that I don't even want to go into. Yeah, he's a pretty right on guy. Here's his he bills himself as a human rights activist, speaker, and innovator, Renaissance man, sex toy designer, charismatic trans activist, and tireless entrepreneur. He's probably great in bed. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if you offered it, but I don't think I could live with a guy with all that ink in him. Next. No, I don't need to go there. I'm not holding many people's attention tonight. I could go and check out the idiots, but I don't feel like it. I haven't been there several days because I was rationing weed. See, I don't get high. I mean, I gotta smoke a lot of weed to get high because I need weed to keep from like my brain driving me nuts. That's what I need the weed for, is to slow me down, not like it's get me back down to earth. That's mainly what I smoke the weed for. I had a real tough time staying in my body when I was young. I just like, it was too much for me, and I just sent myself somewhere else. That's still too much for me. Several times a day. I usually have to go crawl in my bed, lay down, close my eyes for a while. We need Islam control, not gun control. What's this? What's this one? Saying Mexican word of the day guy. This Mexican word of the day, liver and cheese. Some guy tried to sweet talk my Ruka. I told him, hey, bro, leave her alone. She's mine. No. Mexican word of the day is cheesehead. I asked my wife if the Lions will beat the Packer. Cheesehead, no. How are the Romanovs into? What's this? What is this shit? Oh Lord. I didn't even know this was going on on my video here. Oh. Oh my. Oh yeah, here's somebody bringing some bullshit to the wall. To my video about I don't want to go into it. That's let's see what's we're gonna do without that too. Let's see what Clarissa's up to. She just tagged me for something. You had yours on too. This was in the one. See, that's the post I threatened to read. Stonewall founder opposes trans rights may form breakaway group. 22 people, including Stonewall co-founder Simon Fanshawe. Now, is this the Stonewall Inn or Stonewall something else? The letter published in the Sunday Times. Oh, here, 22 people, including Stonewall co-founder Simon Fanshawe, signed an open letter stating that the charity undermines women's sex-based rights. Oh, these guys are British, I guess. Is that the trip here? The letter, published in the Sunday Times, said the signatories are considering forming a new organization which could oppose Gender Recognition Act reform, make it easier for trans people to have their gender legally affirmed. The letter read, last October, a group of LGBT rights supporters asked Stonewall to commit to fostering an atmosphere of respectful debate rather than demonizing us as transphobic to those who wish to discuss or dissent from Stonewall transgender policies. Since then, Stonewall has refused repeated requests to enter into any such dialogue. The government continues to treat Stonewall as if it represented the views of progressive thinking in general, and specifically LGBT in opinion. It does not. We believe it has made mistakes in its approach that undermine women's sex-based rights and protections. Like what? The toilet argument is like really dead. Has been trashed. The most worrying aspect of this is that all primary school children are now challenged to review their gender identity and decide that they may be the opposite sex if they do not embrace outdated gender stereotypes. Oh, Lord. That's not what the curriculum is teaching, but that's paranoia. That's the architect of this policy, Ruth Hunt, who recently resigned as Stonewall's chief executive, has surprisingly been made a life peer. Her exclusion of any alternative views has divided supporters of gay and lesbian rights in a way that may be irreparable. Fuck them, and there's in Britain. I don't even feel like reading that shit. This Britain. Yuck. Their politics is even more fucked up than ours. Happy day, Kara. No, you won't, because you ain't gonna laugh at nothing. No, fuck you. I don't need assholes on my channel.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has a plan designed just for you. And for a limited time only, now you can get 2 lines for just $55, including unlimited talk, text, and data, plus no annual service contracts. Only at T-Mobile.
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Ah, Kara Sprouse. It's Dee Dee Price.
I was banned from Rick off of Facebook because I don't know shit about being trans, but think I do.
Poor baby got blocked for a week.
You have a vast knowledge of what it's like to be trans. But you started transitioning in 2014.
This is a true scum. This is just a total true scum. I'm not even gonna respond to this because she's psycho. She's totally fucking psycho. I don't know why she can see my channel because she's been blocked. This is trans medicalist. This is a hateful psycho pig. Just a really awful person. She's been run out of numerous groups because she's just so psycho and so awful. Honey, I am what I am. I'm an old hippie artist. I didn't start transitioning. I came out of hiding. I shaved off my beard. I got on the right medication. That's all I've done. I'm not getting carved on. I'm not running around with my dick shoved up my ass, sitting on it all day, getting all angry and upset and projecting it out at the rest of the world like you've been doing for God knows how long. I'm a trans feminine person. I'm no transsexual. You're what we call a perpetual pre-op. You totally made yourself insane by tucking for the last 40 years. I got no time for haters. I really no time for hate. Happy birthday. I really got no time for haters. Dave, I feel sorry for you, man. Because the more noise you make about me, um, the more people are gonna hate you. That's just the way it works, man. You know, um, I'm an old hippie artist, a totally harmless character, and yeah, sure, there are a lot of things that I'm not correct about. Um, but so what? Nobody's perfect. I'm a nice person. I'm kind to people. I listen to them. I'm diplomatic until it gets out of hand, and then I'm just like cold. uh, and you know, you're inciting violence against me, you piece of shit, and you're gonna pay for that, just like the rest of them. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, it depends on how you look at it. The cops are completely incompetent to do anything about any of this, all the way up to the 9/11 prank, which just astounds me that they cannot locate the owner of the phone that they had on the line for at least 45 minutes. I can't believe that they don't know, they can't identify that person. So me and Hyde are gonna have some fun in the courtroom soon. I don't know how I'm gonna get it there, but it's gotta go real soon. No more fooling around. Oh, this person. Well, there's not many. She doesn't have many viewers. This is what they don't understand. Of course, Kiwi Farms got a fair reach. Probably as long as I'm at it, I think I've pretty much covered. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was getting the link to that. Have a birthday party on November 3rd in Santa Rita Park. Coming up this week is the altar dedication for Day of the Dead on Wednesday. On Friday is IBT's Pride Weekend. Saturday is Free Mom's Hug. I don't know where it is, but there's a party at the Hut on Thursday that I need to check on, find out if they're going to even let me in. National Day of Remembrance. Who are we remembering? Homicide survivors. I guess that's the part of it. That's where the altar is going to be. Is where that's over by the Mercado San Augustine. Well, there's a closing party on Sunday. IBT is having a party on Friday. I should go to that. Hot Tea and Playground's having a party on Sunday. Tucson Meet Yourself is coming up. That's always fun. I usually make some money too. Out in Arizona on National Coming Out Day, there's a free screening of a documentary, which is also that weekend. And the AIDS Walk is that weekend. I should volunteer for that. Indigenous Peoples Day is Monday of that week. There it is. My birthday party on November 3rd. We're throwing a big party. Okay. Who the hell is this? So Facebook, people you may know. It's like Why? And then you're like, oh, those people. Not you. I know that guy. Don't want Emperor Printer on here. I have to be very cautious about who I accept from what the fuck did I share to my timeline just now? Oh, okay. Anyway, I guess there's nothing going on here, so I might as well roll a joint. If I'm gonna be checking on the idiots and exposing myself to that shit, I might as well roll a joint. Right? I should plug my phone in too. I know it was getting kind of low. Oh, very low. I need to figure out how to block shit on the phone. They're just driving me nuts from Chrome with all these weird things that it sends to my phone. I think I'm gonna go to bed shortly. Did I nap today? No, I never got around to that. Shit. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep either. Well, I guess. It depends on what you call a whole lot of sleep. For me, I got plenty of sleep. It was like 5 hours. I go to sleep very, very soundly, very quickly. Just. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, go pee, and then fall right back to sleep. What's really ridiculous is these people that are trying to call me a fake transgender. It's like, you know, they do that to a lot of late transitioning people because, like, they don't understand how we can live with penis for so long. It wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. And then you got some asshole like D, who's like all frustrated from sitting with her dick up her ass for the last 30 years and not able to get. I don't even know if she's getting proper medication at this point or not. She's a bit I don't know. I can't follow that shit. I can't really pay close attention to crap like that. It's just too distressing. But they assume all these things. You know, one of the things is, you know, scoff at people who go to informed consent clinics that you know they'll claim that their diagnosis is invalid because they got it from an informed consent clinic, but that's not how informed consent works. I could get the hormones just by going in and asking for them without any diagnosis at all at this point in Arizona, but I can't get the gender dysphoria diagnosis without actually having gender dysphoria, you know, without actually fulfilling the diagnostic criteria. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how informed consent works. You know, I want a certain medication, and it doesn't matter whether I'm diagnosed with what it is that the medication addresses or not. But you can't get the diagnosis without actually having it. It's just not the way that works. What else? Let's go look. Let's just go look, see what kind of bullshit they're accusing me of being today. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, that's stupid. Let's see what other stupid shit they're saying. That's not even worth looking at. None of that shit. Let's just make sure there's nothing like criminally important. Yeah, he's gloating about me getting blocked at Facebook again. Nice kid. Well, I can't wait to get my hands on that one. Okay, there's nothing like real going on there. Anything more than real stupid. See what the kiwi farmers are up to. Oh, they're after Russell Greer as the top cow today. What's up with Russell? Boy, they're up to 1,700 pages of him. These people are like impossible to like decipher most of the time. Okay, that makes no sense. I don't want to do that. I just want to look at the forums. Oh, Big Turkey's making some comments on this video. I don't have COPD, you moron. You're just a fucking idiot. You're just a fucking idiot. How much do you want to bet in 6 months? I'll still be here and I won't be any different than I am today as far as my cough. Because I've had this since I was a child. But you're an expert at you diagnose my psyche, come on. You're a fucking twat. You're a pervert, Sneasel. You're just a fucking pervert. You're just a pervert. Tom's racism and horrible aggressive personality should work out well for him. You want to come on the air, man? Talk about this? This is ridiculous. These are just ridiculous. Both of you. Both of you. You want to come on the air? You try to get me on your show, that ain't happening. But you want to come on mine? Give me a holler and hang out. Or the Discord server. I probably should go check on the Discord server and see if there's anything going on there. Okay, well, you have something going on. Jonathan wants. Oh, well, there's a trans person on Discord. Today, 9:04. These are youngsters. Oh boy. Hi, these are. Hello. Okay, so Jonathan found a trans person online. And most of them, in the introductions, I didn't read all of them. The oldest one I saw was 35, 34, and most of them were under 20. Let's see what's going on here. And chill people. Somebody left. Oh well. Okay. Let's see the blocked messages. Oh, that's probably Jennifer trying to say something. I can't even see the blocked messages for some reason. Oh well. That's okay. Anybody here saying anything? No. Let's see what else the idiots have got to say about me. Well, nobody said anything for 6 days on the main thread, and it's only up to 715 pages. Yeah, they're not keeping. Oh yay, it's raining. It's gonna rain for the next 4 days. We got hurricane. We're getting the last of the hurricane that just hit Houston. We're getting that, and then next week we're gonna get the hurricanes that are coming from Pacific. So there's that's nice. They're not getting much activity on in my forum at all. Lots of dead. There's a lot of dead shit going on in there. Lots of dead shit. They haven't said anything in the main thread for 6 days. I hear this, you heard what I said before. Here's some asshole, whoever wrote this. Tommy is going to be hanging out with nigger trannies in a pride parade. They're not necessarily trans. That's nice, though. There's nothing going on there. So talk to me, because it's been an hour and a half, and it's after 11, so I don't really need to be here. I could be in bed. Take one quick tour of my page. See if there's anything. There's Lexi, the lady Courtney. This promoting voter registration. So what we really need to do is just not be fighting with each other over which Democratic candidate we're going to vote for. Just be ready to vote for whoever it is. I refuse to vote for Biden. I'll vote for Vernon Supreme first. And I don't think any of the other ones that I wouldn't want to vote for have a chance. It should be Sanders, but bad chance. We'll just have to wait. I'm trying to stay out of the shit. I don't want to be pissing people off over this. So we need to remove these people from the office. Bottom line, they're killing us. They're not killing the planet. They're damaging the planet's life support systems, and the planet will kill us. The planet will live, but we won't. Okay. I have too many good things going on for me to, these people are just like, they're not even holding their attention at Kiwi Farms. It's just the same idiots, same couple, four idiots, the Kiwi Farms keeping those threads going, and they're not really doing very much. And that's really where it's at. There's, I just, I have my music, I have my Stones, and I have like my activism. We have a planet to save here, kids, and it's really heartening to me, to see this happening now. Greta, listen to scientists. It's like fucking hey, man. 40 years, 42 years ago, I was in an ecology class, upper level, like 300 level ecology class at the University of Tampa. And I forget what the exact assignment was, but I wrote the term paper on climate change. I called it As Gaia Weaves. It was about the anthropogenic acceleration of natural geophysical processes, biophysical processes that are, there's a big molten rock spinning through space in a capsule of water. That's what you've got here, okay? And it's in balance, it's in harmony with itself. And it's a living organism that has millions of species that are part of its biosphere. And the humans really only occupy a very small fraction of the total biomass of this planet, Okay. And we are disturbing the balance of nature by our industry very badly, and have been for a couple hundred years. Um, and the planet's fighting back now, and it's obvious. And we knew this in 1977 when I ran the numbers as far as loading, toxic loading of elements and molecules into the atmosphere that had been in the ground. That if we didn't stop doing that and have it pretty much phased out, or at least well on the way to being phased out, by 2020, it was going to be too late, and the planet was going to do it itself. And the way things are going, by 2030, you're going to see major flooding, much worse than anything you see now. This is nothing compared to what's coming. Imagine what happened to, like, in the Bahamas the other day, happening to Washington, D.C., or Miami, or New York City, because that's coming if we don't change our evil ways. And I think right there is about where I want to leave it if nobody's saying anything. And nobody's saying anything there. Somebody just said something over here. Looks like nothing. I just heard somebody say something somewhere. I don't see it. But yeah, that's where it's at. You know, I'm real, you're not. As far as, you know, Kiwi Farms or AMBs, you're not getting any traction, boys. And I have to sue just to get the shit taken down. Okay? I have to sue to recover some of the damage that was done to me by this shit. So that's gonna come soon. I have no choice. I'll talk about that another time though. Thanks for coming. Happy day. Good night.